Hey guys, what's going on? In this tank in front of me, I have America's most toxic snake. Well, kind of. Let me explain. Snakes. Snakes are one of the most feared animals on our planet, for many reasons. Phobias, a dislike of the way they look or fear they might be slimy, superstitions in various cultures. But the primary reason people fear snakes is they're afraid of their venom. They're afraid of being bit and killed by a venomous snake. But are all venomous snakes worthy of that fear? Are they all out to get you? So this is a Texas coral snake, who is currently hiding under some grass because they're very shy snakes. But he'll probably stick his head up. I've got a second camera to be able to catch better angles of him. So, technically, yes and no to Texas coral snakes being the most toxic snake in the United States. Because coral snakes in general Texas coral snakes are not the most toxic coral snakes. That would be more of a eastern coral snake or Sonoran coral snakes. They both have much more toxic venom. But still, a bite from this guy would still suck. Coral snakes in general have significantly more toxic venom than rattlesnakes. Significantly more toxic venom than rattlesnakes, copperheads, cottonmouths, or pretty much any of the vipers in the States. They are elapids, which is a different family of snakes, separate from vipers. Elapids include snakes like cobras, mambas, taipans, all the big ones. So these guys are basically, genetically speaking, little American cobras. And at the same time, now here's what I think is so funny about them. They couldn't be more shy. When I caught this guy, he never tried to bite until I literally had him pinned. And then when he escaped, and I had to recapture him, no attempt to bite there either. I'm not saying you should go out and pick up a coral snake. I'm just going to disclaimer that right now. Don't. I didn't use my bare hands. I had gloves and nets. So don't go out there for bare hands. Don't pick up a coral snake. Any species. And they're usually found in the pine forests out east, the hill country here in the central Texas region, and down south in those kind of thorn scrub areas. You'll be able to find them. They tend to be fairly reclusive. And this guy, you can see he's mostly hiding under the grass. Now, this guy is probably about the average size for a Texas coral snake. They don't get big. About 2.5 feet. I think there's been record snakes around a little over 3 feet maybe. And so, I'm sure you've heard about the whole red on black, find the jack, red on yellow, kill a fellow. With this guy, this definitely applies. You can see those beautiful red and yellow bandings. There is no black touching red anywhere on that snake. There are species of coral snakes that do not have the red on yellow. A lot of them live in South America, and there can always be weird albino snakes and stuff. But as a general rule here in the States, red on yellow, it's a coral snake. Honestly, if it's a red, black, and yellow snake, and you're not sure what it is, just don't pick it up. Unless you're sure. And if it's a coral snake, don't do it. You're going to catch just that enough. Now you'll notice what a small head this snake has. Find the burrow. Look at him find the burrow. If you notice that this snake has a very small head, especially if you compare it to a similarly sized rattlesnake, for example. And that head is very small. Its mouth is very small. Its fangs are very small. If I went in there and I picked it up and it tried to bite me on the arm somewhere, there was every chance it wouldn't even be able to get its fangs in me. Now, I'm not going to test anything about them. Is you might notice if you get a close look at that head at some point, it has round pupils, which most venomous snakes in the States don't. That's another viper elapid thing. The next thing you're probably wondering is, what does a snake with such a small head eat? And the answer is primarily other snakes. Sometimes other small reptiles, like little lizards and stuff, but mostly they eat other snakes. And given that this guy's been in my backyard for probably a couple of weeks now, because I've seen him a few times before I caught him, it makes me wonder, where are all the other snakes? I want to find other snakes in my backyard. But anyway, so I have talked a lot about the venom of the snake, and how you should never go out there and pick one up, and how leave them alone. I wasn't about how they're fairly reclusive. So how do they act around people? They're shy. They want nothing to do with you. This snake would be very happy to live its life in complete and total peace. I mean, they're actually a pretty common snake, but people don't see them as often as you would think because they're so shy. And I'm going to do a little experiment to prove that, where I'm going to put a pretty thick glove on my hand and arm. I'm going to take the lid off this, and we're going to get in there and see just how aggressive he acts towards my hand. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Alright, we're all gloved up. Let's see what he does if I just put my hand right here. Look at that. He wants nothing to do with it. He's running away. He's not trying to fight, he's trying to climb it. No. Anything, but you can see whenever I make sudden movements, he backs up, he doesn't come towards my hand. If I don't move my hand, then he'll try to climb it. He really wants out. If I pin him, even if I he's still trying to get away, he's not coming back around at all. Hi, buddy. Yeah, no, look, every motion he makes is, generally speaking, away from my hand if it is at all threatening to him. Yeah, I mean, I look like I've got him at this point, and he's not even trying to come around and bite. He's using the rest of his body to cover his face, in fact. That's really funny. So despite being the most toxic snake in the United States, he wants nothing to do with me. So with any luck, if there's anyone out there watching who is maybe afraid of coral snakes, I do hope that display has maybe shown you that they're just a little less scary than you think. So in conclusion, are coral snakes deadly? Absolutely. Do you ever try to mess with one? No. But are they out to get you? No. No snake is out to get you, and coral snakes are especially placid. Give them the respect they deserve, and they will live happily without ever disturbing you. I'm Wolf Johnson. We had all have fun on this episode. See you again soon.